everybody, it's the interview queen, Alicia Atout here, and I am joined by a woman with a moniker of her own. It is Miss Reality, Madi Wrenkowski. Hi.
Hello. I like
How are
that
you?
introduction.
Oh,
I'm
I
good.
tried.
I'm good. Better with that introduction. Just gotta let them know up front what they're expecting.
Right, what they're expecting, what's about to come throughout this whole thing. I mean, before we get into a little bit more of that and what's been keeping you busy, just how are things going over there? I know times are a little crazy. You seem like you're all over the place in a good way, so fill us in.
Yeah, no, definitely things are crazy. It feels like every other week I'm on a plane, which is nice because like I've never really done that before. But like in the COVID times, it's not that nice because like you don't get as many snacks, which I'm not okay with. They give you like pretzels now. I'm like,
Yes.
okay, first off, wouldn't have been my first choice, but I guess.
Certain airlines have those really good like Strupen waffles, like the European waffles. Those are really good. I hope they come back.
I would just like the choice of what I want to drink and eat, but like whatever.
Hopefully, when things clear up, you can wine and dine like a VIP on your flight.
Yes, hopefully. Fingers
Well,
crossed.
fingers crossed. I really do feel like this pandemic has given people some more downtime than they were used to or expecting. So, how have just the last few days been for you over there? Kind of give the fans watching just a little bit of a quick rundown, the life of Maddie.
So the last couple days, I actually just came back from Florida. So unpacking hasn't been all that great, but I do agree with you. I think the pandemic not only like gave people a lot of downtime, but in my instance, like in my case, I actually with the pandemic got more opportunities, I think, because I don't believe that I would have gotten the opportunity to be on AEW if it weren't for the pandemic, at least not this early in my career.
I mean, you had mentioned early in your career, and it's incredible because you really haven't been in the world of wrestling for a long time. I've only been in this for 4 years, and I feel like I'm still new, you know? I
Yes.
mean, when it comes to wrestling, you've really been spreading your wings throughout Texas. Like that whole area, I feel like you've got covered. And Texas is great, don't get me wrong, but I mean, how excited are you for things to finally clear up so you can just start wrestling all over the place? Because it does limit you right now.
Yes, it does, especially since Texas is the only crazy state to actually like open
Right.
100% full capacity. And they're like, hey, you can wear a mask if you want to. I'm like, oh, sounds like we're going to spread it again.
Yeah.
Um, but it seems like where I'm at, a lot of people are still smart and still wearing their masks and whatnot. But um, I'm excited because, again, I feel like AEW gave me the opportunity, Mission Pro gave me that platform. And so I feel like hopefully when things get open, like I'll be able to actually like be in other places, like people will want to see me there. Whereas if it just was before the pandemic, like they didn't know me out there, like people didn't know me in other states, like, and now I feel like I have more of an outreach, and on my merch site I'm getting like uh addresses from Australia and UK, and I'm like, what?
Hello.
Like, okay. Like someone out there is gonna be like repping a literally shirt. I was like, okay, like that's weird. Like it's never something that I ever imagined, but I feel like that AEW platform, like people of like, who is that girl? And then they're like, oh, that's Maddie. Like they know who I am now. So it's nice. It's nice. Thank you, COVID, I think.
Silver linings. I swear, it's all about the silver linings. But it's really amazing you've been able to see some positive come out of it. I mean, you mentioned mailing stuff out to Australia and the UK. So would you say there's one state or country you still really want to bring your skills to? Is there kind of like that goal in mind?
Yeah, 100%. I think the bucket list, not only for travel, but for wrestling, would be Australia.
Okay.
I definitely just met Shaz McKenzie in a Zoom call, so now I really need to go down there because she's like amazing. But I definitely, Australia, New Zealand, you just see the talent that comes out of there as it is. So it would be amazing to get down there, explore, maybe meet a Hemsworth. I don't know. One of them is single, but
A girl can dream. Never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, like you just walk in, like getting ready to go wrestle or whatever, and you just see Liam Hemsworth on a beach. Like, who would be mad? Like, I would not.
Well, we had mentioned the name a couple of times, but something fans are really enjoying are seeing your appearances on AEW. So, how psyched were you when the opportunity came through, and just how quickly it happened? Because we've said a couple times, you're fairly new to this, but you're kicking ass on it. You wouldn't know you were new.
Yeah, I was terrified. It is very terrifying because nowadays, like everything is on the internet. And so, like, just having matches on there, you'll always have people who have something to say about what you do or how you look, especially being a woman, which is barfable. Um, just some of the
Yeah.
comments that you get. But I was terrified because I was like, okay, bigger platform, more eyes. But I was like, girl, bigger platform, more eyes. Like, hello, who are you? Like, let's remember this. You got this. You trained. So I was definitely terrified. But once I got there and like probably like the second or third time, it's like, okay, like you're supposed to be here. But the first time I was terrified to breathe wrong and like I was terrified.
Well, you not only wrestle, fans haven't just seen that aspect of you because we recently saw you on commentary at MPW with Thunder Rosa and Hollydead, two girls I absolutely love. So how fun was it being in the booth with them and just really being able to be a total goof, but also delivering the goods to everyone listening?
So, yeah, some. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to perform, but they were still kind enough to let me still participate in Mission Pro, which was like they tried to like give me like I don't want to say like a pep talk, but like some like minimal training, like a crash course in commentary. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm supposed to like, I'm gonna call like a body slam, like a suplex or something stupid. And everyone's gonna be like, Maddie's dumb. I was like, shoot. And then I just ended up saying dumb stuff. So I mean, and people liked it because they were
Well,
my opinions. Like sometimes you just can't hold your tongue. So I know a couple people like made gifs out of the stuff I said about Jasmine Allure. And I mean, like, I just can't hold my tongue on that one. So I tried. Sorry, Miss Pro.
well, there's also a huge group of people who don't hold their tongues too that I know you're a massive fan of, and that happens to be the Kardashians. I always see the gifs, the gifs, whatever you want to call them, being thrown people's way in your feed. So, are you just one of their biggest fans? Because it really seems to be the case.
Well, yeah, I am the official, unofficial fourth Kardashian sister. So,
Of course.
I mean, yeah, fan, family, what? Lines blur. Lines are blurring. They don't know me, but I know them.
For now, trust me, I'm
Yeah.
sure you'll have to cross paths.
Yeah, at some point, maybe. I mean, they made the reality show to make you like be in their world, and I feel like I am. I dived full headfirst in. So,
Which Kardashian would you want to meet the most?
Courtney, I think she's the most real. I think, especially after just like her one-liners that you hear throughout the show, like when they were in Bora Bora and Kim lost her like millions-dollar earring, like that one that was like more than anything I've ever seen in my entire life. And Courtney was like, Kim, there's people dying. I'm like, yes, girl. But also that earring's expensive. But like, yes, girl. She just like no matter what, always tells it how it is. No, like regardless whether her sisters are gonna hate her or talk crap about her after.
Right. Well, just in a little hypothetical land here, what would you do with her if you could kind of hang out for a day? Have you thought of that before?
No, I have not. But I mean, I hear like she has interesting taste in food. Would definitely like to go out to eat, just see that. But she just seems cool to hang out with. So whatever she wants, I'm at her mercy.
Well, just
What
speaking to
about
that.
you? What about you? What about you?
Okay, so I feel like this interview is going really well, and it might take a turn here because I've never watched their show. I know. I feel like I'm the only human being that's not watched Keeping Up with the Card. They're just so annoying. I'm so sorry.
Um, how do I end this call?
So everyone, this has been Maddie. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna have to ask that now from now on whenever someone
I
like
know.
messages me. I'm like, have you seen King of Kardashians? And they're like, no. I'm
That's
like,
the
block,
screener.
block.
No, honestly, it's one of those things I've never been able to get into, and I'm a sucker for reality TV. I really am, but I think they're just a little too annoying for me.
And you have to start at the beginning. So I think that's what happened. If you didn't start when they were like younger and see it, I think that's what it is. But
Right.
I'll try not to hold it against you too much.
I would
Try.
appreciate that. I would. Just speaking
No
to the
problem.
sass they have, hey, I can't hold you to it. But speaking to the sass that they have and that you also have, I mean, you recently shared this post saying my success makes you mad. Good. So do you kind of find that you're dealing with a lot of annoying trolls and just people who kind of doubted you and now you're rising?
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially like having started my wrestling career in Texas, there were already a couple girls who kind of had names here. And to be able to not only come up in such a short time and wrestle them and like be able to get under their skin, I think that's like the most satisfying thing. Like they're scared and it's amazing because what are they scared of? They're scared of me. Like they're so it's great. And I love it because I guess I came from a school that had one girl, and being in the wrestling world or any world, having like a girl squad, it's nice. People have your back, and I didn't have that. So I would go into these shows not knowing any of the girls, not really being friends with them, but then to have had like the uprise that I have, and now I have girls who have my back, like the girls who I guess weren't as friendly to me in the beginning because like they didn't know me. So like I get that, but at the same time, like where are y'all now? No offense, but like y'all weren't that nice to me, but now you are. So and
Yeah.
I see that. I see that. Mhm.
I've definitely been through that same thing, you know. I came into this business from a whole other industry, but I already had a following. So people were kind of like, "Who's this chick? Is she kind of stepping on it?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm not even a wrestler. Chill, like just chill
Like
out."
calm down. I'm not coming for your title yet. Yet.
Exactly. Yeah, you never know what can happen.
Exactly.
What would you say is one of the weirdest or most bizarre things you've read about yourself online, or just kind of heard?
um I mean, you just see a lot of weird things. Fans and trolls, I guess, post a lot of weird things. Today, I actually saw like a tweet, and it's like Madi Wrenkowski is strange. There's like no context at all, and I'm like, no argument there. Like I would respond, but like there's not really an argument to be made there. Um, Other than that, there's just like weird comments, weird messages, and I'm sure you get them. Uh, you just get some weird things and some weird requests from people that kind of like, stop. Would you say that to me in person? And sometimes I like to challenge that. Like when people say like inappropriate things on like Twitter, like I did a Fez press one time where you basically like jump on the person and this dude was like, "Oh, I wish Maddie would sit on my chest or whatever." I was like, first off, that's inappropriate. That's disgusting. And would you say that to my face? He's like, "Oh, I didn't mean it disrespectfully." I'm like, "Okay, then how did you mean it?
How do you take
How
that?
did you mean? How did you mean that? Like, oh, in the most respectful way. I wish Maddie Wrenkowski would sit on my chest. Like, what? Would you say
I
that to a dude?
Oh God.
Like, I would love to see him say that to a dude.
Right. People sometimes just don't understand like you really should have a filter because otherwise, it's great when fans are even overly supportive and they just want to always comment on things, like it's great, but as soon as that line's crossed, I'm never going to forget that little thumbnail or that name, and I know to avoid you.
Yes, and I was salty about it because I noticed recently that the person who said that they changed their thumbnail, and I was like, I almost responded to one of their tweets, and then I was like, wait a second, this name looks familiar. You almost got me, but you didn't. You almost had me.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, the last thing I wanted to ask you about, it's the fact that on my show I not only interview wrestlers but also musicians. So if you could have any artist create some entrance music for you, who would you just love to see do so?
Bruno Mars.
Ooh, I could see that.
Very nice. That would be nice. And recently, there's a dude on TikTok. I think he got famous on. I think his name is Sam Ryder. He actually like just released an EP. Like that would be dope because he's like newer and up and coming and probably wouldn't charge me that much.
I love it. You should
As,
see if it's possible.
I might, I might do that. I thought about it because he just released an EP on the 26th, like a new song called Tiny Riot, and I was like, okay, this is kind of dope. And I was like, I wonder, because like Bruno Mars isn't in my budget right now. He's not my budget. That's just reality. It's not my budget.
Well, I really do want to say thank you so, so much for taking the time for coming on here. I know it was mostly full of ups and the one little Kardashian down, but I'm so glad we were able to do this. So thank you a ton.
No problem. It was fun. I'm glad someone pointed you out to me and pointed you in my direction.
Fantastic. Well, to everyone watching, be sure to check out aliciatout.com for more exclusive interviews and features. And of course, Maddie, whenever she happens to be in your area in Texas or on AEW, be sure to check her out there. Again, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye.